How's your week been? I hope you've been enjoying these pretty days. Do you remember what our lesson was? Our memory verse was last week? The story was about the cloud. The memory verse was Numbers 9:17. The cloud showed the people when to stay and when to go. Okay. So this week, our story is about spies. So this is a very exciting story. Okay, so here's our picture of the spies. So y'all get comfortable, and here we go. A special cloud from the Lord guided God's people while they lived in the desert. The cloud showed them where to go and when to stop. One day, God told Moses, "The promised land stands before you. It will be your new home. Send 12 men to look over the land and find out what it is like." Moses called the 12 men together. "Look everywhere, be spies in our new land," he told them. "Look at the people, the food, and the cities. Come back and tell us what you discover." The 12 men went to spy out the land. Many days later, they returned. "We explored the promised land," the spies said. "Lots of food grows there. Just look at this tasty fruit we brought back." The 10 spies warned everyone. "We saw the people who live in the land. They are huge, like giants. Their cities are very strong. We cannot take the land away from them. These people are too strong for us." The spies were afraid and did not believe God could help them. 2 spies trusted God. "Yes, the people who live in the land are very strong," Joshua and Caleb shouted. "But God will help us. We can take this land." Most of the people didn't believe Joshua and Caleb. They were afraid. They didn't think that God was strong enough to help them. Instead, they wanted to choose a new leader to take them back to Egypt. Again, Joshua and Caleb said, "We can take this land. God will help us." But the people didn't believe them. Then God told Moses, "The people have seen my great power. I have taken care of them in the desert. They promised to obey me, but they are still afraid. They still do not believe. Because my people will not listen, I will not let them live in the promised land," the Lord said. "Only Joshua and Caleb, who had faith and were not afraid, will enter the land. All the other people will wander in the desert the rest of their lives, but their children will have faith and will live in the land." So to review, Moses sent 12 spies to explore the promised land. When they returned, 10 spies said wonderful food grows in the land, but the people are giants. We'll never defeat them. "We can take their land," said Joshua and Caleb as they argued. "God will fight for us." But most of God's people didn't trust the Lord. God was not happy with his people. Only Joshua and Caleb will enter the land. God decided everyone else will leave the desert, but their children will trust me and live in the promised land. Okay. So our questions for the story is, what did the spies look for in the promised land? So what kinds of things did they look for in the promised land? How many spies didn't think God's people could win the land? So how many spies didn't think that they could live in the land? And which spies thought they could win the land with God's help? Which spies thought they could win with God's help? And what did God say to the people who didn't trust him? What did God say to the people who didn't trust him? Okay. So our memory verse for this week is Numbers 14:9. "Don't be afraid, the Lord is with us. Don't be afraid, the Lord is with us." Okay, and our Sing with Joy songs are My God is so big. The Lord is my shepherd. Trust and obey, and God is with you. So sing those songs together with your parents. Okay. So we have a little fan. Have you ever heard the song Going on a Bear Hunt? So this little song that I'm going to teach you that goes along with our story is just like the bear hunt. So you'll need your lap. So sit with your lap like this, and I'm going to try to sing it for you, but I don't know how good I'll do. So here we go. So going to the promised land, I see a river. Can't go over it. Can't go under it. Have to go through it. Be brave, spies. Going to the promised land, I see a city. It has a high wall. Can't go over it. Can't go under it. Have to go around it. Be brave, spies. Going to the promised land, I see good fruit. Can't just smell it. Can't just look at it. Have to take it back to the camp. Be brave, spies. Going to the promised land, I see giants. I see big walls. Can't fight alone. Can't stay here. I have to trust God's care. Be brave, spies. So I hope you enjoyed that. Okay. So our little sheet right here is the spies, and you've got 3 stickers, and you just put those on there where it goes. Okay. And then our next sheet, it says find the spies. So you're gonna find and circle the 12 spies who are hidden in the promised land. So you need to find the spies. So you look in the picture, and you try to find the spies, and when you find all 12, if there's 12 of them, and you circle each one you find. Okay. So our DC and Paul story today is called The Sidewinders. The Sidewinders. All right, and it's a baseball story. So how many of you like baseball and softball? This is going to be a good story. So here we go. When Siwa woke up, the first thing he remembered was that he had a baseball game that day. All right, it's game day, he thought. Siwa loved baseball. He was a very good baseball player, and he always had fun playing with his team. Then Siwa remembered today's game was not just any game. Oh no, thought Siwa to himself. Today was the day that Siwa's team had to play the Sidewinders. Siwa's team, the Rockets, was very good, and they always had fun playing baseball together. But the Sidewinders were different. The boys on that team were very tall and strong, and they were amazing baseball players. They hadn't lost a game the whole season. Siwa was very quiet during breakfast, and while he got dressed for the game. He and his dad got to the baseball field early. The only other person there was Siwa's teammate, Ben. Siwa quietly went into the dugout and sat down on the bench next to Ben. "What's wrong today?" Siwa asked Ben. "You're usually really excited on game days." Siwa groaned. "But this isn't just any game day, Ben. Today we're playing the Sidewinders." "So?" asked Ben. "What's so special about that?" Look into the other dugout. A few boys from the Sidewinders were already there, and they looked big and strong. Just look over there, said CY. Ben looked over too. Wow, how did they get so many big kids on their team? He wondered. I don't know, but they sure are scary looking, said CY. Ben laughed. Why do you think that they're scary, CY? He wondered. They're just boys like you and me. They're scary because they're such good baseball players, CY answered. Don't you know that they haven't lost a game the whole season? Well, we've only lost one game all season, said Ben. Yeah, but they are going to beat us big time, said CY. Ben shrugged. Most of their teammates began to enter the dugout. It'll be okay, CY, he said. God will help you be brave if you ask him. CY hadn't thought of that before. He did sort of feel afraid of the Sidewinders. Maybe God could help him. CY prayed quietly. God, please help me be brave today during this game. Then he put on his glove and stepped onto the field. The Sidewinders batted first. CY was right. The Sidewinders were a very good baseball team. CY and his teammates ran after the ball and played their very best. When it was CY's turn to bat, all the boys came into the dugout. CY looked at them. They were smiling, and they were all having fun. It didn't matter that the Sidewinders were bigger and stronger and the best baseball team ever, and CY realized that he was having fun too. When it was his turn to bat, he had a big hit that scored 2 runs. His team didn't win, but it was a good game. After the game, the Rockets thanked the Sidewinders for playing. CY enjoyed talking with the boys on the other team. They might be big and strong and the best baseball players around, but they were boys just like CY and the other boys on the team. Well, it was scary as you thought it would. Was it as scary as you thought it would be? Wondered Ben. CY shook his head. It wasn't scary at all. Even though we didn't win the game, it sure was fun to play their team. CY thought for a moment. I even hope we get to play them again, he said. Ben nodded. Me too. CY smiled to himself. He knew God had helped him be brave. So he thanked God for the Sidewinders and for the wonderful day. Okay, so why was CY scared about the baseball game? Why do you think he was scared about the baseball team? How many games had the Sidewinders lost? Do you remember? How many games did they had lost? What did Ben remind CY about? What did Ben remind CY about? How did CY feel at the end of the game? How did he feel at the end of the game? Okay, this is our Sidewinder sheet, and it says, God helps CY be brave. CY's baseball team had to play the Sidewinders who had never lost a game. Have you ever seen a baseball game? CY told his teammate Ben that he was afraid to play the Sidewinders, but Ben reminded him that God would help CY be brave. When do you need help being brave? Even though CY team lost, the team played its best and had a very good time at the game. How do you feel when you just do your very best? How do you feel when you do your very best? CY thanked God for helping him be brave when they played the Sidewinders. What can you thank God for? What can you thank God for? Okay. All right, so we have our coloring page also. And this is our last lesson in this book. So we'll be getting a new lesson book, and I will let you know when those come in. All right. Well, thank you for being with me today, and I hope you learned a little bit. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Y'all have a great day.